Was there a time that you doubted whether she was innocent or not?
I would love to have known who had done it, but I never doubted that she.
You never
That
doubted
she-
that it wasn't her. You just wanted to know who it was.
Right.
The intruder, if there was one, certainly hasn't come forward.
No.
Your father is dead,
Yes.
so the only person to speak about it is your mother.
Yes.
And she, of course, says and has always said she didn't do it.
Yes. My sisters did see a light under the basement door when Mom was getting everyone out of the house. And so they believed, and I always believed them, that there was someone else in the house at the time when Mom was getting all my brothers and sisters out of the house.
Mm-hmm. But there was no theory that she had a Confederate. The theory was she did it, she pulled the trigger.
Yes.
And they assassinated her character.
Yes.
They didn't really have proof that she killed him. They wanted to talk about the fact that she was not someone that had always been making the best judgment. They talked about the fact that she had had affairs
Yes.
years earlier in the marriage. And
that she read Alfred Hitchcock magazines.
right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
And an ex-boyfriend came forward
yes.
and said that she had offered him $10,000 to kill her husband.
Yeah.
Did the jury believe that?
I think they must have.
Did you believe that?
No. I feel like he probably got something taken off a record, or there was some pressure put on him by the police.
You say that the jury foreman was on the judge's bowling team.
That's what we were told.
And that's relevant how?
Well, just that there was just so much connection. And it just seemed like everybody was connected in ways that they shouldn't have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know that the foreman of the jury should know the judge that well.
Now, the day of the murder, your mom and dad had plans for a barbecue date
Yes.
that night, right? So
Yes.
this wasn't, every marriage has ups and downs, but
Yeah.
these were not two that were just constantly battering each other or having
no.
problems.
No, and even when they had problems earlier in marriage, we didn't know a lot about it as us kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm the oldest of 5 siblings, and Mom and Dad were private about their things. They were always good parents. But then the last few years, especially, I remember them being very affectionate with each other. They went out a lot, they went dancing, they were cute together. They'd embarrass us by dancing in the grocery store. You know, I mean, they seemed to be really solid.
So this was inconsistent with what you observed.
I never even saw them have a big fight.
So you wouldn't expect either one of them to kill the other one.
No.
Did they test your mother for gunshot residue?
They did, and she passed.
There was no gunshot residue on her
Yeah.
whatsoever.
None.
They tested for fingerprints
Yes.
on the gun.
And I believe, you'd have to ask Brian about that, our attorney person. He's the one
They
that
didn't
keeps
really
track of
have
all
any
that.
physical evidence to tie her to
They
this.
really had not much at all. They had this boot print.
And you all had the same brand of boot.
Sarah and Mom and I all did.
Yeah, and about the same size
The
foot.
same size.
So that could have been her boot, your boot, but
Yeah.
there was one print.
Yeah.
If she had gone down to the pond to throw the gun in,
Yeah. How would they just find one, and why would they just find one?
I mean, she'd had to like
Fly?
jump in and fly back out.
Yeah.
What's it like to go back to high school
Not
when
great.
your mother has been convicted of murdering your father by gunshot?
Yeah.
What do they talk about in the cafeteria?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the murder happened during my freshman year. It was hard. It was really, really hard.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.